Hey guys, welcome back to another video on our YouTube channel, guys. Today I'm going to be making a couple of videos for you guys. This is going to be part one. There's going to be a part two. The part one, I'm guessing you probably found this video because you were searching on YouTube on how the best way to clean a motorcycle without soaking it down with water. Travis's bike here has tons of speakers all over it. Our 2014 Street Glide has tons of speakers all over it, and using water in a pressure washer like that isn't always feasible. Now in this video I'm going to be using a ton of killer wax products, guys. If you already have a cabinet full of products and you feel comfortable using those and you get good results out of those, great, use those products. But we can get this bike equally clean, guys, without using a pressure washer. It just takes a little bit of time, elbow grease, and these few tips and tricks that I'm getting ready to show you. One of the core misconceptions that I see on Facebook right now, I see it a lot on Facebook and a little bit in the Harley Davidson forums, but really big on a lot of the bagger forums, is this magic pill syndrome. Guys, there's no product out there that you can buy that you can put on your bike one time. You go out and you buy yourself a brand new bike and it's clean because you just got it from somebody, or you got it from the Harley Davidson dealership and it's clean. So you think you can just put this magic product on your bike and dust and dirt and stuff like that's never going to get on your bike, and it's just going to be so easy to keep clean. It's not the case, guys. That's a huge misconception. It's going to take some time and some effort on your part as a motorcycle owner to keep it clean and take care of it. Of course, I get the comments, why are you even cleaning it? Just ride it. I see that all the time in the Facebook forums, and that's fine, guys. If you want to spend $20,000 on a bike and not take care of it, that's your prerogative, guys. This doesn't make any sense to me to not take care of it. So either way, guys, if you use the magic pill products that are out there, that's great, but it's still going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of effort on your part to keep it that way. So how do you clean this bike without washing it? How do you do it without getting water all over the speakers? One of the products that I use to do that, guys, is called H2No. This is a waterless wash. This isn't a detail spray, it's a waterless wash. This is made by Killer Wax. You can spray this on a towel and get everything wiped down and clean. One of the biggest mistakes you can do on your paint is actually touching it when it's dirty. Don't wipe your finger on it and stuff like that. That dust will cause micro scratches in your clear coat. I cannot stress enough that when you're showing somebody your bike and they walk up and they rub their hand across it and you've just rode across town, there's dust on there, guys. And that's one of the biggest things over time that will create a ton of micro scratches in your paint and in your clear coat. Anytime you want to take dust off of a bike, you need some kind of lubricant to pull that dust and dirt up off of the clear coat into your towel. So there's a couple of different towels that we use, and I have several of them laid out right here. These are just basic washcloth style towels. We got them, you know, the ones that we take out of our house that we're not supposed to, and they end up in the garage and your wife wants to know where they're at. These washcloth style, just kind of rough towels, they're good for cleaning the motor and the wheels and stuff like that, guys. I don't use them on the paint. If I go to the paint, I'm going to use a microfiber towel, something like this. You can pick these up at Walmart. And then, of course, my finishing gets done with a seamless towel. I get these from Killer Wax too. Now these are really good towels, guys. Like I said, they're seamless. There's no seams around the edges that can scratch your paint. These are basically what I use for a finishing towel. So shop towels is one of the biggest things I use. That's 90% of the tools that I use when cleaning a bike, or shop towels. So that's why we have the different kinds. You don't want to cross-contaminate. That's a huge mistake. Don't take this towel and wipe your wheels and your brake dust and all that crap and get it all in this towel and then bring it up here and wipe on the paint. Bad mistake, guys. So when you're wiping your wheels and stuff like that off and you get all that brake dust and grime and road grime and stuff all in this towel, you don't want to just bring it up here and wipe it on the clear coat. So just be careful and don't cross-contaminate. So once we get the bike completely clean, guys, we would move on to the clay bar. And it's a general misconception that every single time you detail something, it needs to be clay barred. That's not necessarily true, guys. Once you get the bike cleaned off, it's very easy to just run your hand across the stuff and see if you feel contaminants in the clear coat that are still stuck on there. So when you're clay barring, guys, the biggest thing is do not ever put this clay bar, don't drag this clay bar across your paint dry. You're just going to pick up contaminants and then scratch the crap out of your paint. You can use a quick detailer. We use, sometimes we use the Northern Lights quick detailer. You want to create a lubricant between the clay bar and the paint. That's going to help that clay bar glide across that paint and pick up those contaminants. When you see the contaminants start to fill up in your clay bar, it's not necessarily ruined, guys. Just simply fold it over and knead it back together until you get another clean spot on your clay bar, and then go back at it again. And you'd be amazed at how much dirt and grit and grime that's still left on that motorcycle even after we wash it. So a clay bar is really good to get oil and stuff like that off. You pick up oil off the road or tar, it'll take tar right off too, which is another great thing. So the next step we would do is just move on to the paint correction. Travis's bike has a few scratches here on the tank that I can see. The front of the lowers definitely have a few scratches, and the sides right here. So we'll try our best to use some polishes to try to get those surface scratches out. But I could tell the scratches that are in this paint are definitely in the clear coat. So we'll try to work those out. Now, paint correction, guys, is going to be what you feel comfortable with. The step one is a very gritty compound. If you're not comfortable with using that, I suggest that you just don't. Start with a step two, a variable speed DA sander, or you can do it by hand with just a normal waxing pad. Now, I like to use a white pad if I'm doing it by hand, guys, because you'll know if you start picking up color on your pad, you're through the clear coat. Your clear coats, you're down into the base coat now. So you can keep checking your pad, guys, and see if you're getting down into the base coat. If your bike's black, red, yellow, it doesn't matter. If that color starts showing up on your white pad, you know that you've got through the clear coat, guys. Clear coat is about as thick as a piece of paper, guys, so keep that in mind. These little surface scratches that are in this tank right here that we're going to be working on, you know, it's a very thin surface to work with, so be careful. Like I said, if you use a step one and you get in there too deep, you've just got right through the clear coat and you're into the base coat. Now, if you don't have any scratches in the bike and you just want a good, nice, wet look to your paint, you want to bring some of that shine back, Killer Wax makes this. Now, this is one of my favorite products. It's called Extremely Wet. The Extremely Wet we use on a charcoal pearl bike all the time, and it does exactly that, guys. It really brings out the flake and stuff in the paint. And even if your bike doesn't have a flake in it, guys, that Extremely Wet polish just really adds a luster to the paint and just makes it shiny again. And the next step would be waxing it, guys. You want to seal everything in. All that hard work that you did that day on your bike, you want to seal all of that in and get a good protective coat on the outside of your bike. What we use on the darker colored bikes and cars that come in here that we detail is the Blue Dream Paste Wax. They do offer a 100% Carnauba wax. It's in the black can. You can use that. We use this a lot on the lighter color vehicles like the whites and stuff like that. So that's pretty well it in the steps that I do to clean the bike. Now, a couple of tools that I will use to do that also are just these little just like toothbrush style brushes. It really gets down in there with my soapy water. I can agitate all the areas, and it's pretty small, so I can get down in there, and then I would just take a towel and get down in there and wipe that dirt up. The towel, let the towel do the work. Pull up the dirt and grit and grime and stuff that you've worked loose with the toothbrush. Now, one of the products that I use for degreasing, and that's as far as like hand degreasing the motor and the wheels and stuff like that, is this stuff right here. It's called Awesome. I picked this up at like the Dollar Tree or the dollar store or something like that. It's very cheap, but this stuff is super strong. I put this in just a squirt bottle. I don't dilute it because it's so cheap. So some of the other tools that I use, these little guys right here, these are cheap at Walmart too. It's just a plastic applicator with a piece of foam on it. This works great for a lot of different uses, guys. These are generally made for like dressing your tires. You can see it has an arch right here. Now I'll use this for tire dressing like it's intended for, but sometimes I'll use it for a product called Back to Black. Some of the inner fairings, like if I want to get around in here in these little tight spots, I can put this on the edge of it and just really get down in there. It's something like the Back to Black is like a lotion, and you kind of want to put it on thick and then let it set for a little bit and wipe it off. There's another cheap product. Now, I brought this up in the KW7 video. These little 50-cent brushes from Walmart. You can really use these when you're fine detailing. You can either dust with them. If you don't have any product on them, you can dust like vents and stuff like that. On the motorcycles, I find myself using these a lot around the motor area when I'm trying to dress the motor area. Like also is another product, I think these are like 30 cents at Walmart, and I picked up a ton of these, and they're just little foam brushes that have a little point. I think they're, you know, they're made for like trimming out stuff, but you can also use these around the motor and on the dash and all the areas that you want to get into that's really small. These little pointy ones work great for spreading product through the fins on your motor. We do have a normal just detail brush, has a rubber tip on one end and has a brush on the other. This little rubber tip that's on the end. It's kind of flattened like a knife. Great for digging wax and stuff like that out. One other thing I wanted to touch on real quick was this, and I've had guys come over and see this and be like, why are all your wax pads and stuff in different bags? Actually, guys, I mark them just like this one says quick detailer on it. Those, I know that those pads have quick detailer in them. This one's going to be used for the vinyl protection. And a big thing for me, guys, that goes for my buffing pads as well. I don't leave my buffing pads laying out on a shelf. I don't leave my wax applicators laying out on the shelf. This is a garage, guys, and I do other stuff in here. You know, I'm running the shop vac and stuff like that in here, and that kicks up a lot of dust and dirt and stuff like that. Just being in and out, opening the garage door all the time kicks up a lot of dust and dirt. That dust and dirt that's in the air eventually settles, and if you have these things laying out on your shelf, you've got dust and dirt just settling overnight onto your wax pads. Once you get them clean, take them out of the washer, dryer, put them right back into a bag, and you're guaranteed, just a little cheap, you know, hefty bag, you're guaranteed that these are clean when you take them out of the bag and they're not full of dust and dirt and grime. Plus, being able to label them. You know, you use so many different products out there, guys. I don't want to have wax on this one and then pick it up and smear it through my polish or something like that. So when I get done, I just stick it back in the bag that's marked wax. Now, just another little quick tip, guys. When you're using these wax applicators, I've done it 1,000 times. I've spent 5-6 hours cleaning a bike. I'm 100% sure that bike is clean, and now I'm ready to polish it and bring the shine out and then seal it in with a good wax and have my day done. And somehow down in here underneath the crash bar in the lower, I miss a spot and there's some dirt in there. I just missed it, and I'm waxing with this, and I tuck it in there. I get dirt on my wax pad and I pull it out and I smear it down and I just scratch my lower. It happens, guys. We're human. We're not perfect. So the best thing to do with that, guys, is just keep watching your wax applicator. If you do an area that's down in there, it's tucked down in there, it's not just obviously visible that it's clean, you know, get that area clean and then pull it out and look at your wax applicator. Make sure that you don't have grit and grime in your wax applicator. Now, I just want to touch on the so-called leather on your motorcycle. Now, unless you actually have leather, real leather saddlebags on your bike, your seat and your bras and stuff like that, this may be sold as a leather bra or a leather seat. Trust me when I tell you this, guys, this is marine grade vinyl. Your stock Harley-Davidson seat is marine grade vinyl. So even though the seat is marine grade vinyl, you can still use your leather cleaner and your leather conditioner on there. It's not going to leave that slick residue feeling. You're not going to have that greasy butt sliding across the seat feeling. And the leather conditioner actually really brings out the shine in your seat again. You don't really notice that your seat isn't as black as it used to be. When you put this on there, it's going to really bring that black back out. And the same with the vinyl bras that are on the front, guys. So those are pretty much all of my tips and tricks, guys. So I hope that video helped you there, guys. And don't forget to check out part 2 of this video, where we actually take all of that information that I just gave you and we're going to apply it to this street glide behind us. I hope this video helps, and if it did, please hit that like and subscribe button. Every time we do something to our street glide or somebody else's street glide, we like to get it on video and show you, share our information with you, and it'll let you know when we have new videos that come online. And so, guys, if you got any tips or tricks, please drop it in the comment box down below. Share your information with us. This channel is all about helping each other, and I love kicking around ideas with you guys. Watch for part 2 of this video coming up very soon. And until the next video, as always, be safe and keep your knees in the breeze.